Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today we are listening to not one, but two singers I haven't heard before, Lyodra and Judika. You guys have recommended both of these singers independently, and because they did a duet on Indonesian Idol, I'm going to start here. So we are listening to their cover of The Prayer. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Gorgeous tone. I love her vibrato. It's just like, oh, it's like an ocean wave. It's just a little slower than you hear traditionally in this song, and I think it's so stunning. The other thing, her control, especially as she's maneuvering not only from kind of, I would say a head voice into a chest dominant mix, and then allowing that to grow and like sustain that. I'm not gonna go all the way back, but I can go, here we go. That vibrato, hold on, I wanna hear this. That control, that's glorious. There's so many other things I'm thinking as I hear this, like beautiful open throat singing. It just has this like, this very warm, not like hollow in a bad way, but like hollow in like an inviting way. Like it's just so buoyant and warm and round. And you get that from having a relaxed open throat, not like tightening things. But she's also doing a beautiful job of alternating like tension and like muscle tension. So sometimes it's, you really want to get your cords fully adducted, you need a little bit more pressure, and then, well, it's a combination of air pressure and muscle pressure, tension. But then whenever she wants that breathier sound, it's just boop, like releasing just a little bit, relaxing a little bit. It's so, one more time, it's so beautiful. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, give us faith so we'll be saved. Judika. La luce che tu dai, I pray we'll fly on light, e che resterà. And hold it in our hearts, a ricordarci che when stars go out each night, eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera. Let this be our quanta fede che I want to go back. I wasn't expecting, well, I didn't know if he was going to have sort of that like operatic sound or if it was going to be a little bit more contemporary. Their voices sound beautiful together. I will say, I do need to hear them separately because I feel like in terms of range, it's so challenging when you're doing a duet like this because you kind of like your voice has to sit like in that perfect place in order to really shine. And so if you have a higher tessitura or a lower tessitura, it's just not as flattering. And it's not just a matter of like, let me change the key. No, you have to worry about your duet partner and your counterpart in the whole performance. So yeah, I'm curious now, like, to hear more of each of them, like, as a soloist. But I'm gonna go back just a smidge to him. So that felt like it was kind of on his lower range, but then so stunning.
Stella se nella mia preghiera. Let this be our way. Quanta fede che lead us to a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved.
Okay, I'm gonna point something out that I think is just... I love noticing these things in performances, especially with competitions. You'll see, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously she is competing. He is like an established singer and actor. It looked like I tried to do a little bit of research. And so as their like duet part started, he started to look to her, which, I mean, depending on your approach to music, I think that's a lot of singers do that out of experience because, you know, it's just, yeah, I won't get into it. But she being on the show and, you know, she was like really straightforward and this was 2020. So I'm so excited to see how she's progressed and grown as an artist. Let me go back just a smidge.
Quanta fede che
So he's gonna look to her.
Lead us to a place.
He even like turned to, and then she was very much focused on.
Give us faith so we'll be saved. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di
Oh, I knew. Oh my gosh, he has got to have the most glorious voice. This is not a fair representation. I own that now. I love watching them collaborate, and I love that they are looking at each other now. This is beautiful. I want to hear that again. Oh, I love that sound. He's got such a pure tenor. It's still very warm, but it's got that beautiful ping that just helps it carry so well. And she is doing a beautiful job carrying, like, in full chest voice, that harmony.
Un mondo di giustizia, di speranza, ognuno dirà, ma non simbolo di pace, di fraternità.
I would like to hear that transition again when she went into head voice.
Simbolo di pace.
this be our prayer?
Just like every time.
Just like every
time. Need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved.
Oh, so fun. I am going to say something about that voice crack at the end. And the reason I have to do this is I want this channel to continue to be educational. I want to help people appreciate singers, but I also want you to understand why things happen and how sounds are made. So he has a big voice. I'm going to start with that. And when you say someone has a big voice, it's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's important that we recognize that because some singers have bigger voices than others, and that's just basic anatomy. And so not only does he have a big voice, but he is a tenor, and he was moving through his passaggio. So he was going from a falsetto head voice place and then into a full sound. When you are transitioning, when you are making that transition, it can be a very scary thing. And so what he was doing that was so gracious was he was matching her volume at the onset of that. And so they were both singing in falsetto or head voice, depending on how you want to define it. And then in order to sing those last notes in full voice, he needed to make a switch. He needed to apply not only more breath pressure, but also more tension on his chords. And so sometimes when you do that and you're making that switch, it's gonna crack. You're gonna hear sort of the muscle movement, really, or like the switching of muscles. And so that's all that happened there. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but I don't ever want a sound like that to take away from what an artist has done. I just want you guys to understand why that happens. So big takeaway for me on this is I really do need to hear them both independently, because I feel like while this was a gorgeous cover, I have a feeling they probably shine a lot brighter in different songs. So I will await your recommendations, but that's it for today. As always, thank you for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.